All right, so it's a bit of a gloomy, windy day here in Pennsylvania. I think it's gonna start raining any minute now, so I wanna go inside and work on an Eastern Redbud tree that I've been wanting to prune up for a little bit now, and might even do a repot on that as well. But before I do that, I wanna show you, I was at a park yesterday with my son, and there's an Eastern Redbud there that is just starting to flower out. So let's go over to that one right now and take a look at it. So me and my son are here at one of the parks near my house, and I always like this Eastern Redbud right here, and I always keep an eye out to see when it's going to start to bud out. And I just noticed right here got a little bit of flowering going on, and up here too. Eastern Redbud, one of my faves. Let's see if it's flowering anywhere over here too. I don't see anything. Just on that one side. Where did I see it? Yeah, right there. Pretty soon this thing's gonna be covered in those little flowers. You can see some of the seeds are still hanging from the tree there. They'll probably be there for a little bit longer too. Actually, I just noticed it's starting to bud here too. You can see the purple flowers there. Hard to tell against the sunlight there. Yeah, they're budding out. All right, so today we have my Eastern Redbud. Now, this is probably one of my favorite trees that I have because number one, it has been grown from seed, and I love growing trees from seed. And number two is because it's one of my favorite types of species of tree. The Eastern Redbud is a large leaf tree. They get these really large heart-shaped leaves. And the mature trees get these very beautiful purple flowers that I'm hoping one day to get. But as of yet, my two oldest Eastern Redbuds that I think I germinated both them in 2021, I believe it was. Neither one of them have produced any flowers yet, but you know, there's no rush. We'll get there eventually. But yeah, this is one of my favorite trees, and I didn't really want to do a repot on this tree this year just because I did a repot on it last year, but I did do a air layer on this tree last year, and I think by doing that air layer, it caused the tree to tip over on the one side. And I want to go in there and take a look at the roots and see how they're doing, because I want to make sure that they're nice and radial. But before I do that, I'm just going to do a couple little prunes here, because if you look up here towards the top, we have some little leaf buds starting to pop out. So let's do a couple quick prunes on this before we do the repot. All right, so let's examine this tree a little bit before we dive in. So we have the base of the trunk down here. It comes up, and this is our first branch here. This branch comes out a little bit and splits into two, which is what we want. Then this branch right here comes out and splits into two, which is what we want as well. Now these ones are a little bit long, so these might be pruned back. And then we have the second one right here that just comes out and does not bifurcate at all. However, I might keep this one because this is the branch that has a little leaf coming out, so I might just let that grow. And then maybe maybe prune this off in the summer. So after this branch, it comes up and then eventually splits into two right here. Or you could just say that that is just a branch coming off. This is a branch coming off of the main trunk. This comes up and splits into two right here. And then this branch technically splits into two as well. And then we have this huge branch right here that we'll probably get rid of. At least bring it back to somewhere around here. And then this main leader comes up, splits into two. Then we have this little dead bit there that we'll have to take off. And then, yeah, the branches just kind of go out in their own directions there. So what do we do first? Well, my first thought is to come over here and snip back some of these dead bits. So let's do that. So I'm just going to snip back this dead bit to right here. We'll snip back this dead bit to right here. We'll take that back just a little bit more. So looking at this branch here, I'm going to take back some of these little dead bits. Easily come off. I probably could have just broke those right off. And then this dead bit here. Maybe even a little bit more. There we go. And then I see a little bud back here. I believe there's a bud there and a bud here. I think a safe bet would be to take it back to right there. Leaving a little room for dieback. On this branch here, I am thinking I see a bud here, here, and here. I think I want to take it back to right here, leaving 2 buds with a little room for dieback. This one right here, I could snip it back a little bit, but I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with this branch and just let it grow out. There's this little dead bit that can be cut off. So looking at this one here, I see a potential bud here, here, and here. And I'm going to be a little bit more conservative and I think take it back right there, leaving some room for dieback. On this one right here, we have a bud here. There's another one on the other side right there. And then there's one here. And I think I'm going to be a bit more risky and snip it back right here, leaving that bud and this bud. Might be a riskier choice, but let's do it. Next up on this one here, I see a potential bud here, here, and here. And I think I'm going to try and snip it back to here, leaving room for dieback. On this branch right here, I see a bud here, here, and here. So I'm just going to snip it back to here for now. Yeah, that's not too bad. I do want to snip this little bit back right here, some of this dieback. That's good. And I think we'll leave it at that. This one, again, is super long, but you know, we'll worry about that in the future. All right, let's repot this thing. All right, and here we go. Let's take this thing out of the pot. There we go. Empty. And not terribly root bound. I see a little bit of wrapping around at the bottom here. Here's our 2 little drainage screens. So yeah, let's work away at this thing. All right, I think that's our root system right there. So we got a decent amount of fibrous looking roots here, but not incredibly super happy with it. We got this really long one right here that's sticking out. So let me clean all this stuff up and then we'll come right back. All right, and we are back with our nice clean roots and clean working area. So here is our root system here. Not terrible, not great. So my biggest issues with this one are this root here and this root here. So these are going to be the first ones to go. The rest of this, well, let's do these first two cuts here and then see how it goes. So I'm gonna prune this back to here. There's our first one. And I will, of course, try to root these as cuttings. You never know, maybe I'll get something. I didn't last time, but I'll still try. Snip this little bit back here. And the next one is this big one right here. So this is a pretty big cut. And I'm tempted to take it right there, but I think I'm gonna do it in 2 cuts. Trim it back to here first. Whew, big cut. Look at all that root. That took a lot of root off right there. But now we have this bulbous little nub right here that unfortunately I think I need to take off. That will leave quite a scar, but I think it's for the good of the tree. Let's try to cut that back here. All right, it's a pretty large scar there, but hopefully it'll be okay. All right, the rest of this, what do I want to do? I think I want to take this guy back too. There's this little one right here I want to get rid of. I think I need to get rid of this one as well. This little one right here I want to get rid of. And this one as well. Oh, dare I do any more? I want to keep this thing alive. I'm not going to do any more. There could be more work done on this, but I want to keep this thing alive. So even though there are some ugly roots on here, I really like this tree and I don't want to do any further damage to it. So here is everything that I took off. And here is the stuff that I left. So that's probably about 50% of the roots. Maybe a little bit less. But yeah, we're going to leave that. And there we go. Man, I really don't like that one, but it's fine. So let's get this back in the pot. All right, and we got our plastic pot all cleaned up, good to go. So we're just gonna reuse this pot. I think in the future, I have something special for this Eastern Redbud. I have a special pot in mind that I'm going to be using for it. So stay tuned on that. But I'm going to use this pot again for the time being, but eventually this tree will get a nice fancy pot. But yeah, we'll use this one today. And we have these mesh drainage holes right there, but we're gonna put some drainage screens on top of that as well. And here's drainage screen number 1 and drainage screen number 2. And I just mixed up some fresh bonsai soil, which is 40% calcined clay, 40% perlite, and about 20% orchid bark. Had to make sure my math was right there. So yeah, that's all good to go. So let's get some soil in here. But before I put this in the soil, I'm just going to take some of the lipstick that Tom from Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors gave me and put that on some of these wounds to help heal them a little bit, help seal them up. All right, I think I got all of them. So let's get that soil in there. All right, I think we're good to go. So let's get some water on this thing. There we go. And I also took these 4 root cuttings and I put them in this cookie container right here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of water on these. And if they take, they take. If they don't, they don't. No big deal. All right, so we'll keep an eye on these in the future and see if we get any cuttings from this. If we do, that'd be cool. And if not, I'm not gonna get too upset about it because I've never got any root cuttings from Eastern Redbuds before. So, but it's a little experiment. It doesn't hurt to try it. So we'll check back in on these things soon. All right, and that is it for this Eastern Redbud. So we did some work on this thing today. Hopefully I didn't go too hard on the roots. I have a good feeling it will be okay. Little light pruning on this thing as well. So hopefully it will be set up and good to go for spring. So we'll do an update on this one probably maybe in a month or two and see how it's doing. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.